So welcome, Dragnot. How are you? This is going to trigger G-Man so bad. You realize that?
This is a South Beach production.
It's all about Christ. He's coming back soon. But before he returns, I'll diss the dragoons. You got the audacity to talk about learning. I speak for us Christians.
And we think you're boring.
Drag met me once for a couple of hours. He thinks he's an expert on how I shower. His followers are lost. They believe every word. Drag lies so much, even his truth is absurd. So learn this lesson from back in your youth. You'll never stop us Christians from preaching the truth. Review this quote here, YouTube troll. Sabella sold out. Satan controls her soul. She plays both sides with demonic precision. You're not preaching the cross. You're causing division. School is for learning, not to boast in your heart. You're so dumb you make Shanny look smart.
Talking about my wife.
You can't rock with me, you're not even close. Your odds would be better if you had the Holy Ghost. You say I can't rap and I ain't got no flow. I'm a born again Christian trying to save you trolls. You're a once upon a timer who would sell out your mama. You're an unevolved rat who can't handle the drama. So put on your shirt, stop looking so hideous. Drag, you're a joke, nobody takes you serious. You're not a good guy and you're evil to the core. Only the blood of Jesus can save that view, whore. To stop the persecution, get rid of evolution. We got the solution, it's the Christian revolution. The Lion of Judah will return real soon. He's gonna light a fire to burn the dragoons. You two Christians are hated today, because we read our Bibles and we do what it said. Hello, everybody, and welcome to what was the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel and what is now officially being rebranded or being changed to GTV. And I am doing this for a very specific reason. When I started this channel as a Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel, I wanted to deal with certain issues on here instead of dealing with them on my main channel. Now that Shanny and Rev are no longer on YouTube, Dragnot has moved on to different things or whatever he's doing with his life, I'm going to make this channel the new GTV channel. But why, G-Man? Why are you going to do GTV? Why don't you keep doing what you're doing with Sowing and Reaping? Well, it's going to be very similar to Sowing and Reaping, and you'll see what that means soon. You see, some things have been said to me in private, and like I said, in these videos that I've been going to or whatever, and I want to show that the things that has been said is wrong. Plus, we're going to do it. You guys can ask me whatever you want. I'm going to change the title of that to Ask GTV and not Ask G-Man, as I'm going to be referred to on this channel as GTV from now on. I actually got to change that too. Come to think about it. Let me do that there real quick. I forgot to do this before I went live. Okay, there we go. Some of you might remember me from the old GTV days when I handled certain individuals on here, which we're not going to be dealing with on this channel. I almost opened up with another classic on here, but something that, first of all, before we get to the questions, something was said to me when I was said about me when I was watching a rival YouTube channel. You know, you probably don't know who I'm talking about. So let me show you all who and what I'm talking about here. Just real quick here. Okay. Yeah, so that individual had said this about me, that my relevance only comes from Shanny and Rev. That's the only reason that anybody cares about anything that I have to say. So naturally, I took a little teeny weeny microscopic, maybe on an atom on an atom level, offense to that. Laughed at the rest of it, and I decided, well, let's actually put that theory to the test. You know what I mean? I decided to rebrand. Actually, matter of fact, I'm going to temporarily put that. I don't want to do this because I don't really got no problem with this person no more. But I do got to change this. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the G-Man there with the tiger there for now. But I'm gonna definitely put my old GTV thingy back up there again. But that'll stay up there for now. I'm gonna be shutting some people up with certain things on here because I've been disrespected on here for the better part of 8 years on here, ever since the person who actually did make GTV relevant on here, not G-Man, the GTV on here relevant, was actually a bald-headed guy who didn't wear a shirt. That's the guy who actually made sure all of these wonderful channels knew about me. That was outside of the norm that I was already dealing with. Okay? And I decided to deal with him on this channel. And I think a lot of people think they seen all of the Shanny videos. And they think they seen everything they needed to see because they watch XX Archive, who doesn't have all of the videos. I just recently learned this myself, by the way, so I shouldn't act too cocky about this. Fat Courtney Love, who thinks she has all of the videos, or he has all of the videos, who knows what they are. Not Graveyard Flowers, the Celebrity Juicer, Trader, and la 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 la, and blah 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 blah. All these different archive channels. They're the only people that's got anything original around here, and that's just simply not true. As you know, I was friends with Shanny for a long time, and I have things that nobody else has, and nobody's been looking for. You see Shanny making videos, for example, responding to me with something that I said on my other channel. And a lot of you never seen it because those videos are in private. Why do I know this? Because none of these videos are on any of the archive channels. I checked. None of these are on the archive channels. And as time goes on, I'm going to start playing these because Mr. Hussey said a lot of stuff on here. And guess what he said? I only was friends with Shanny and Rev because they had money. Oh, I got a juicy video that I'm going to show you guys. Either, as a matter of fact, I got a couple of little surprises you guys are going to see. I got quite a few surprises that you guys are going to get. You know, since I need Shanny and Rev in order to be relevant and whatnot. You know, oh God, he's going to pay for saying that stupid mess. You might as well delete your channel now, dude. You're going to look really stupid. But got quite a few surprises for you because I can actually screen share right now and show you how dumb you look by saying that kind of thing. But I'm either going to premiere the video or we're going to react or respond to those particular videos. But I'm going to do it GTV style. I'm not going to be doing it the sewing or even thing. I'm going to do what I did back on my GTV days. And for the people that remember me from back then, they know I'm not joking around. When you start seeing me open up, and actually you're going to see me opening up with no tiger and you hearing that slow music, I'm going to do my old opener, although I might have to make another one. For those of you who don't know, it goes something like this. You think you're somebody who's, hold on, how does it go? You think you're somebody because you're going to school while denying reality and acting like a fool. You got something to say. Say it to my face, you wash up has been, you four-eyed disgrace. I'm a roaring lion and I'm ready to pounce. Dragnut Silvis is my soccer account. You want some, son? Then step to the best because you're nothing, what is it? Because you're nothing but a troll with the atheistic complex. So that's coming back. That's coming back on here. And I'm not even going to be focusing on Drag. If I want Drag to come on here, I think I can contact him and have him come on here just for some kicks and giggles. You know what I mean? But Hussey is a liar. Okay? And it ain't just Hussey. It's this idea that's been around all of these years where people were trying to put me in the same category and say I'm just like Shane. Obviously, a lot of people are not believing that, and his live viewers are starting to go down when he says stupid stuff like that. The other thing that this man said is he's continually saying is that I'm LGBTQ. right? It ain't just him. It's several channels. They keep asking me about the cream on my back and all that stuff. And a lot of you newer people who watch me don't know my views and my opinions on this. You really don't know what I believe about this topic. So I'm going to let you hear it directly out of my mouth when I was on their channels. When I'm serious, not when I'm being goofy and trolling or anything like that. I'm going to let you see the serious side of me on that particular topic. Then Hussy's going to understand, because Hussy's not going to be able to get on here and complain. Hussy's not going to be able to get on here and claim persecution or any of that other stuff because Hussy said I'm in that community. The law of non-contradiction is going to get broken left and right around here, guys. Trust me. Hussy, I got a challenge for you. I watch some of your videos and I see you talking all a certain way with your audience. Like, you know, you engage with your audience. You say hello to your audience. You hug your audience. You call them girlfriend. You call them friend. You thank them for their memberships. And you do all this other stuff and whatnot. I have a question for you, Hussy. How many of these so-called people that you interact with on YouTube have you actually met in person? I'm just curious. No, we're not talking about Shani and Rev no more. That can actually wait for a little bit. How many of these people have you actually met, Hussy? Just curious. How many of these people have you actually met? You say I'm nobody. I ain't got nothing going on for me. I haven't done nothing on here. Right? No, I'm not playing the Atheist Experience. I'm sick and tired of playing that call I did to the Atheist Experience, even though I called it recently. I'm not going to play that. I got something much better, much juicier than that to play on here. Because I met several people on here on the internet. Some people I care not to talk about in person because, you know, their privacy and everything. And regardless of what some people think on here, I do care about people's privacy on here. I'm going to look on the live chat in a minute, guys. Just give me a second here. Give me a second here. Okay, so I got to take care of that. So Hussy says I'm a nobody and I'm all this other stuff and whatnot. So Hussy, my first challenge for you, and by the way, Hussy, this is not going to be all about you. I'm going to be talking to my audience here real quick. We could talk about whatever they want when they start asking me their questions when I go to the live chat. And I acknowledge every last person who leaves a comment on there. Take a look at this, Hussy. I want you to take a look at Exhibit A.
It's time for preaching to the choir ministries.
The fool has said, in his heart there is no God, they are corrupt.
Okay, guys, this is G-Man preaching to the choir ministries. Hey, I got the shock of my life here a minute ago. I can't show you everybody that is here. What I can do is show you who I got shocked with here. You know, you all know I meet Hannah every now and then here in New York, but when I show you this, you're gonna be like, what? So check this out. First of all, can I even do this? Okay, so just hold on a minute here. I'm gonna turn the camera on him right now.
Hello, it's Talking Shit Thursday.
I'm like, what? And then, whoa, it gets better. It gets better. Watch this. Come on. Come here. Come here. Oh, you know I'm having some fun later. Talk to you guys later. Okay, JD Kane, you got something positive you want to say about me for a change?
You are a very sexy man.
What? Okay, can you give me something positive, please?
That's Hannah.
That's not good to hear from another man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, but you got that building.
Oh Lord, okay, that's. I'm here with the founding members of TST. It would be JD Kane, who is being so generous to buy me this nice, delicious double cheeseburger with these phenomenal French fries with. And he gave me this huge drink and look at Dragnet just tearing those ribs up and this will be edited. You won't be able to see his face. Multiple personalities is eating his food, and that will be edited out as well, Hannah, right? And this is Hannah. She'll be edited out as well. Okay. And this is Fiona's food. I can't put the camera on the other dude right now because of look at them ribs. No, don't that look good? Okay, now this guy right here is Kevin. He's eating his food. I can't let you see who that was. I won't even tell you who that is. So that's Fiona.
It says 654, but it's a few minutes long.
So we're all eating this food right here. So this video will be edited. So if you don't see certain people, it's for a reason. All right. But this is some delicious eating. Yummy, yummy. Huh?
This is a good ass idea. JD Evanson here does this.
Now, why am I showing this video? What you guys just watched there was the equivalent of Miss Hussey. Miss Hussey actually doing a video with Tragic and everybody else in here who doesn't like him. That would be the equivalent to what you were looking at. These people literally made video after video after video after video after video hating on me. Yet I sat down and I ate with them. I bugged out with them. I went to the Museum of Natural History with them, and we chilled out. I even participated in a live show at their Talking Stupidity Tuesdays. I'm not going to say it the way JD did it back then, but a lot of you remember what I'm talking about here. Met these people in person. See, just because I go back and forth with somebody on here, don't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean that I despise you or I wish your death or anything like that. I just happen to be aggressive, and I know Hussey might feel a little intimidated, so I want him to feel a little bit more comfortable and let him know that I don't desire harm for him or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I want him to be at ease. You know what I mean? To calm down, to chill out, to this ain't that serious, dude. It really isn't. All right. So you want you to take a chill pill and relax. Okay. If the offer came, I would sit down to eat with you. I would probably sit all the way over here. Like you sit all the way over there somewhere. But you know what I mean? I would sit down and eat with you and give you a bow. You know what I mean? Be like, yo, what's up? You know, be like, yo, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have no issue doing nothing like that. Because I don't let this get under my skin to the point that I'm going to come at you. I used to. There were some people. I'm going to show you some videos where I went after some people. I can pull myself better than some of these people out here attempting to pull me. I can assure you of that. But the point of me showing this is that these people act like they've seen everything. I can play a shanty video right now from when I lived inside of the house, when I was friends with them, and give you a tour around the house. I think I still got the video where I'm holding her panties like this. I don't think a lot of you remember that when we were fighting and go back and forth in the video responses. I think I got her panties like coming all the way right here. Her bra like all the way right here. She got me so mad. I just played them both out in various different ways. You know what I mean? So I own those videos. And I have a lot more. I have my private videos where we talked on the phone or when they sent me something on Skype that I know nobody else on here has. I never, ever, 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 ever give away everything that I have. I never do it. So Hussey, you know, I take the teeny weeny offense when you talk to me like that. You actually think you know everything. And just for being a jerk, one of those videos I'm going to give to, let's see, who's somebody who should get credit for that particular video and get to review it. Who should I give that to? Let me think. Somebody who has never reviewed it, probably doesn't even remember it, but who can I give that to? Because Sidney Winston doesn't even have this video, and he has a lot of old stuff, and he ain't got the ones I got. Might give it to Draven. We'll see. We'll see. But I got some stuff on here that I'm going to be showing some people. Because like I said, everybody think I showed everything. I never did. And like I said, there are some people in here that know me, and they know I hold on to stuff just in case. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be showing that stuff here on GTV as well as some other YouTube channels when I get a chance to go back on them. You know what I mean? So don't listen to Hussey with all that GMan's irrelevant garbage, because that's not true. Okay? He wants to prove that he's not a hateful, disgusting person. Tell him to go meet Tragic in person and have dinner with him. Or with perhaps he can finally meet Gentleman Pioneer and have dinner with him. I mean, he's been on his YouTube channel. He wants a Scooby snack like that. He actually did something. Gentleman Pioneer has been on my channel 1,000 times. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it in the future. This is something of a bit of an intro of what I'm going to be doing here on my new GTV channel. You know what I mean? So let's go to the chat here and see what kind of questions people got for me. Talking about something I'm irrelevant and you think you use me up. I think that Hussey is such a moron. So anyway, let's see who's here. We got Cousin Matt. So I'm gonna start a little late. Didn't even spell that right. My spelling all day has been terrible. Okay. Let me see something here. Everybody see their comments. Who came? Okay. And then I'm gonna get to your questions. So give me a second here, real quick. I'm tired of everybody on here disrespecting me, saying that, G-Man, G-Man, that G-Man's a joke and G-Man didn't do this and G-Man didn't do that or whatever. Like it cracks me up. But that buffoon's gonna be talking about Shanny old videos till he's 93. I'm gonna be talking about fresh stuff, and guess who's gonna try to snipe me when he does it? But he's gonna have to. I'm never gonna let him know when I'm gonna do it because I like to randomly make my videos. And you're gonna have to be subscribed to this YouTube channel to be the first person to actually see it. All right. So, all right. So let me get to your questions here real quick. Let me go to the top here. Okay, Cousin Matt. Let's see what it says. Oh, so I see this is still going on. That's not a question. Okay, we don't want that one. Is that rapping, G-Man? Yes, that is rapping. That's my first question here. The weak link 2278. That is rapping, yes. Shadow Wolf Cub says, sowing. Okay, first of all, I'm not sowing and reaping no more. I'm GTV. What? Have you ever considered becoming a rapper? You'd be great at it. Maybe for YouTube. I wouldn't mind participating. You know what I want to do one day? I'll probably get my butt whipped because I don't cuss. But I would love to go up against ERB. That's the tier I'm looking at. I already took on Billy the Fridge. I want ERB. I want epic rap battles of history. I would love to go up against those guys. But I want time to write down my own stuff, and they can write down what they want. You know what I mean? Like G-Man versus ERB. I would love it. I would pay them to rap battle against me. It would be so fun. So, love some G-Man. Okay, so let me see something here. GTV. Yep, we're going to be GTV again, guys. Let me see something. Okay, so now I know who's watching this channel. Do you know what would be a good name for your channel? God TV Radio. Catchy, right? No. I'll mess with some other people with that. Doing that with Brett is probably not a good idea for me. I'll probably get his permission first to make sure I get it in writing. Hi, G-Man. Question: do the difference in Gospels causes you any concern? No. Let me see. The reason why is because they don't contradict themselves. It's four people talking about Jesus, and if they were saying the exact same things, that would be the issue I would have. Show the stuff people haven't seen. Well, that's what I'm going to do with GTV. Not today, but that's what I'm going to do on this channel. And the people who are sub, they're going to be the first ones to see it. Because a lot of those videos that Shanny made in response, to me, I'm going to show you the original videos of what I said about her. I'm going to show you a lot of the videos I made when I was living inside that house too. Because I got all of them. Like, these videos didn't just go away. The archive channels simply don't have them. That's as simple as that. They don't got everything. They think they do, but they don't. When am I going to show these videos? I'm going to show them sometime this week coming up. Probably either Sunday or Monday or something like that. After we constantly hear Hussey and the rest of these other people tell me I ain't got nothing. So I can laugh at them later. Let me see something here. Let me see. I often thought myself off a wrong line. It's probably drag with this. Let me see something. However, I'm not a Lancaster fan and rare appearance. All right, let me see. I thought this was Axe GTV. Why is this just a regular ranting and whining? Okay, let me see. Let's see if anybody got any questions here. Okay, Mark Lawrence says he has a question. But Mark, I don't see the question. All I see is and Nate the lawyer. Okay. Answer mine, bro. I asked a question. G-Man not tackling real questions. I don't see no questions in here from you. Where's your question? I believe you're trolling. So if you got a question, ask it again. And I'll put it here. The last question, the last thing I got was this. Hi, G-Man. That's from Voiceless Ghost. But there is no question here. All I see from you, the last thing I see from this one is this and answer mine, bro. So I don't see any questions here. It says right above. Let me see. Nope, I don't see it. I'm looking from StreamYard. I'm not looking on YouTube. I'm looking for StreamYard. Let me check my phone for YouTube. But if anybody has any questions that they want to ask me, you can ask me them now. Oh, and by the way, in the future, when I start showing these videos and people want to answer questions, I'm going to put the Cash App on there, and I'm going to charge 50 cents to answer a question on here from now on. Mainly because Hussey's charging me $500 to debate me or whatever. So he must have lost his mind. The guy doesn't even know how to spell debate unless I actually do it. Let me see. Let me go to YouTube. But in all seriousness, does anybody have any questions for me? Is Shanny on this channel or my G-Man channel? You're asking me, is Shanny in a lot of your videos? Are you talking about on this channel or are you talking about on my my other channel? Okay, let me see something here. Because I want to see the live chat. Oh, that's my history. That's why that's on there. Let me see something here. Oh, that's my history. That's why that's on there. Let me see something here. I can honestly say I'm going to have fun for the next 10 videos. Let me see something here. I don't see your question. Wait a minute. Hold on. Is this here? Right above. GMan not tackling real questions. I asked a question. Oh, okay. This is why nobody could see your question. It was hidden from YouTube. So just to show you that I wasn't ducking nobody's sauce there. All right, so everybody can see this here. It says G-Man, when Shanny was trying to throw that. When Shanny was trying to throw herself at you, did you ever think about it? No. That's my answer to that. The answer is no. Okay, so who's this right here? Yada the God. Yada the God. He says it's smoke, not sauce. Well, where I'm from, it can be either or. You either don't want that sauce or you don't want that smoke. It's either or. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask GTV? If not, I'm gonna ignore this chat and I'm gonna start going back into my little thingy over here. I'll give you guys some time to ask some questions because I got no problem having a 28-minute video. I don't have a problem with that. I don't need this to be real long. This is not monetized, so I don't particularly care how long this is. And I got an idea who's here actually asking questions too. So okay, here we go. I have a question. What exactly is blasphemy of the Holy Spirit? Blasphemy against the Holy Spirit is the blasphemy against the Holy Spirit is saying that when God does something or something is accredited to the Holy Spirit, you're saying that Satan was the one that was behind it. Okay. Like, for example, the Holy Spirit will bless you or heal you or something like that. And then you try to say that that's from you try to say that that's not from that is not from God, that is actually from Satan. Another form of blasphemy of the Holy Spirit would be taking the mark of the beast. There's no forgiveness for that whatsoever. Does anybody have any other questions on here? And by the way, if you guys are going to ask me questions on here, please keep your questions appropriate. I don't mind answering them, but I am a Christian at the end of the day. And there's just certain things I'm not going to say on here. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? Perhaps you want to ask me something regarding the people that I associate myself with now, people I associated with myself with in the past. Question about something that Shani and Rev said in one of their videos, something that another content creator said about me in the video, or something like that. I got no problem answering those things. Because today it's free to ask me a question. So what kind of questions that you guys have? I'll just wait for you guys to leave a question here. If nobody's going to leave any questions, I'm going to end with the GTV ending, and then that's going to be it. No, I was never sexually attracted to Shani. Friendship-wise, I was, but not sexually. But I would say this though about Shani, because I think this needs to be said, because some people might look at me and think that because I make so many jokes about Shani, that means that when I see a big woman, that means that I think that they're unattractive or something like that. People got to understand something about me personally. I don't know about these other people out here, but if this isn't right, the rest of you ain't right. You can look like Tyra Banks in her prime. You can look like you can look like a supermodel in their prime. If this ain't right, the rest of you ain't going to be right. I'm just not going to be paying you no mind. This has to be right. This has to be right. Yes, I am. I'm very good terms with Shill Squad. There was a lot of rumors going around that the reason why I got kicked out of Shill Squad was because of the rap that I did. But I think I did about a 2.5-hour video on my other channel talking about why that wasn't the case. So, okay, hold on. They got some good questions coming up here now. Let me see. Why did you dress like Forrest Gump? Conformity or aerodynamics? I don't understand your question. And when did I dress like Forrest Gump? I'll even answer the trolls questions, because I think some of these troll questions are fun, and I don't think they understand the future of their questions getting answered. But let's answer some of these. GMan, do you mind explaining? Let me do it in a dramatic voice. GMan, do you mind explaining why you turned to the Lord and renounced your homosexuality and your desire men? Okay, this is one of my fans here, so I want to make sure I that I answer this here. When I became a Christian, I never renounced homosexuality because I was never a homosexual. Just to put that out there. Am I a homosexual today? The answer is no. And anybody who's followed my career here on YouTube, and I mean not pretending, I mean like not seeing me in a couple of videos here and there. I mean like people who's followed my career here on YouTube, and they all know what I really feel about this. And if I talk about this, a lot of you are going to get offended. So I don't want to talk about it. So, as a matter of fact, there are people, one of the persons who knows my real opinion about this has been on Carrie's channel. His name is, what's his name? Is it Coctopus Prime, I think? He knows what I really feel about this topic, how I really feel on this topic. He knows full well. It's quite a bit. David Anthony knows how I really feel about this topic. You know what I mean? So they've heard me in debates with this stuff. I've been in the Geek Room debating this stuff with Bionic Dance. I've been on the Non Sequitur show and debated this. I've been on Blog Talk Radio and debated about this. I've been on the Drunken Peasants and talked about this. And I'm not talking about trans. I'm talking about homosexuality in general. I've been on a lot of different platforms. TST and talked about this. I think I've been on Redline's channel and I talked about this. I've been on a lot of people's channels talking about this topic, and I've made a lot of people angry talking about this. So that's why I don't really mind people bringing this stuff up, because apparently they need a reminder, and they can't get mad at me. They can't get mad at me because they're the ones that's saying that I'm part of this community. What I should do is claim it. That's what I should do, and then go around saying, "Oh, this sounds like what do you call it? Phobia, homophobia, or whatever." That's what I should do. That's what I should do. I should turn it around, because the way I look at it is this: for years, people have been trying to convince me here on YouTube. In all seriousness, they've been trying to convince me that homosexuals in this country go through a lot of persecution, and they want equal respect and they want equal rights. But then they turn around. These very same people will turn around and use their sexuality as a tease. How are you going to sit there and tell me you want equal rights and you want to be treated like a normal person and then use your sexuality as a tease? If you're not even taking it seriously, why should I take it seriously? I'm just saying. I mean, after all, you are creating a lot of people against their will in prison. A lot. You don't want me to start talking about this. You really don't want me talking about this. And believe me, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to end up agreeing with me on this. No, it's not. Listen, there are people who rejected Jesus who later on would believe in him, who would believe on him later on. So it isn't just rejecting Jesus. You have to say that the Holy Spirit did something, but instead of the Holy Spirit doing it, you have to accredit that to Satan. Okay. Okay, let me see something here. So, okay, so he changed his question. Let me answer this again here. GMan, please tell us why you turned to the Lord and renounce your homosexuality. We need to know. My answer to that is that I've never been a homosexual before. I believe that homosexuality is unnatural. I believe that it's scientifically bad for society, and I believe that heterosexuality is what's going to cause humanity to thrive and not actually go down or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel about that. All right, what I think about it. I have a question. Okay, here we go. Here, there is a stereotype about black men liking big white women. Just saying, especially right before tax return time. Well, I mean, that's not really wrong, really. There's a lot of guys I know in this area that love large, especially plus size Caucasian women. That's why I always told Shani that if she wanted to get somebody and replace Rev real quick, go to the hood. She won't be single long. Go to the hood. You won't be single long, but if they go and she don't bathe, she'll be single forever. But it is actually true. It's not really a stereotype. That's actually true. But it ain't just Caucasian women. It's black women, Spanish women, whatever. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are starting to like the international women. I don't know that way now. Let me see something here. Did Shani ever steal from you? She stole a lot of my time, that's for sure. That's a good question. I didn't even thought about that. For right now, I'm gonna say no, but I don't remember. I guess an argument could be made with the Delta 8 and all that stuff, I guess. But no, I don't think that she's ever stolen anything from me. No. No, I'm definitely not homophobic. I am definitely not homophobic. I believe that a homophobic person wouldn't want to have a conversation with somebody who's LGBTQ. I don't know how other people feel about this, but this is what I think about this. If you're homophobic, you can't even have a conversation with a person who's LGBTQ. You know what I mean? Not only can I have a conversation with them, I can hug them, I can have a serious, rational conversation with them. Obviously, as a Christian, I want to preach to them. I've been friends with them. I got some of them in my family. No, I'm not homophobic. See, here's the thing. You got that homo word there and you got phobic. When somebody has a phobia or something, they stay as far away from it as humanly possible. I'm not of the world, but I live in the world. You know what I mean? I got to interact with other people all the time. Where I work, customers will come in or I'll have to fix something for somebody and they'll be practicing that lifestyle. I'm not going to hate them because they have that lifestyle. What I don't like is when that lifestyle is forced on us heterosexuals. That I don't like. If you don't want us forcing our lifestyle on you, don't force your lifestyle on me. You know? Doesn't the Bible say, judge not lest ye be judged? Yes, it does. It says that in the Gospel of Matthew, it says, judge not lest you be judged, and in the same manner that you judge the other person. Now, here's the thing, though, okay? Some people stop there. If you actually keep reading, what Jesus is actually saying is that you're not supposed to judge hypocritically. You're not supposed to judge hypocritically, right? What we Christians are supposed to do is judge ourselves first, then we'll know how to judge other people. And the reason why I know the scriptures teaches this, because we Christians are going to be judging angels, and we're going to be judges right along with Jesus on the day of judgment, according to the scriptures. So I have to make judgments all the time. I have to look at something or listen to something and determine whether or not that's from God or not. You know what I mean? Somebody might come to me, knock on my door and says, take these Watchtower Tracts Society tracts or whatever, and say I'm from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or something like that, or I'm from the Watchtower Tract Society, and they'll say they're Christians, and then they'll sit down and teach me that Michael the Archangel died on a cross, or they'll teach me that I'm going to populate a whole planet and claim that I'm a god or whatever, claiming that they're Mormon or whatever. I have to look at that, know what my Bible says, and be like, nope. That is definitely not from the Lord and the Bible, and that contradicts what the Bible actually says. So we're not supposed to be judging hypocritically. GMan, congratulations on running 6 marathons. How do you balance running with a physical job? I'm having an issue with that myself. Thanks. Well, I'll tell you this. If you can discipline yourself to get up about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, about 2 hours before you go to work, and you can train yourself to run. If you're training for a marathon, if you can train yourself for the short runs, like just for an hour, if you're doing a speed run or a short slow run, you would have to do that at about 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Try to finish that between 5 and 5:45 or 5 to 6. And then you can go to work, and then you can come home and know that you ran. And then on your day off is when you do your long run. It's possible to do it, but if you're having a problem and you're feeling tired when you're going to work, try to get a cappuccino or a coffee. It'll help you a lot. And try to get some B vitamins, because you're probably deficient in that. But you got to make a plan when you get up early in the morning. If you're working, if let's say you got to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's good to get up at between 4 and 5, so you can do your run, you come back, you shower, you stretch, try to relax a little bit, and then you can get up and go to work. Okay, that's good to know. Let me see. We have too many people. He says it's overpopulation. That's what a lot of people who practice a lifestyle believes. And then, believe it or not, there are people who practice a lifestyle who don't believe that. You'd be surprised. Amen to this comment here. Hood guys won't wipe duty. You're right about that. And that relationship probably would have been a lot shorter. Since the Bible condones slavery and was used to enslave our African ancestors, there's no point to believe in the Christian God. Jesus doesn't like us. Okay, so that's your opinion. Okay, so first of all, one of the arguments that I make on my other channel is that God does not condone immoral slavery. there are two types of slavery. There's moral and there's immoral slavery. A lot of people will get in their feelings and they'll get emotional damage, and they'll say, oh, slavery is immoral. How can you support it? Now, I'm talking about this as a black man. I'm talking to the real brothers that's out there now. All right. I ain't talking about these people out here that lost their black card a long time ago. I'm talking about the real brothers that's out there. All right. What do we consider prison? Come on. What do we consider it? Let's not be shy about this. What do we consider prison? Many Muslims consider the police to be slave catchers. The majority of the people in prison, who are they? Are they white? Are they black? How do they look? The majority of the people that's in prison. I'm just curious. And why don't we call the prison system slavery? I want you to think about that a minute. Because according to our laws, that is precisely what it is. The 13th Amendment says, as a matter of fact, let me show you this here real quick. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution prohibits slavery and involuntary servitude, except, there you go, there's the but or the except right there, as a punishment for a crime of which one has been convicted. How many innocent black people do you think is sitting in prison right now? Or a person is sitting in there because they don't have a lawyer or they could not afford a lawyer? The same people going around there saying that God condone slavery is the same person that is quick, fast, and in a hurry wanting to get somebody locked up in jail. And do you know what happens to you when you're locked up in jail? Do you think you have autonomy in jail? Absolutely not. So stop it. There's the slavery that God condones in the scriptures, when you look at it in its proper context, for the society that it was for in the nation of Israel, was moral and just. But unfortunately, we got people out here with a 5th grade reading education who actually read the Bible and then throw their opinions in there and try to make God sound like he's a monster for what they're looking at. No. For the real ones that's out there, we all know about the transatlantic slave trade that actually happened here in the United States of America. Who was the ones that got rid of slavery here in the U.S.? It was Christians and it was the Quakers. It was the abolitionists and it was the Quakers. I ain't see these other people out there getting rid of slavery. Real quick, slavery is immoral. Just seeing people going around calling you racial slurs. Sure. Anyway, so let me see something here. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of us black people out there that don't support Black Lives Matter. I mean, you guys will be shocked at how many of us don't support it because we ain't stupid. We know fake from a mile away when it comes to that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's continue. I'm not transphobic. I can have a conversation with somebody who's trans. I can hug a person who's trans. I can preach to a person who's trans. I can, if I have to give the mouth resuscitation, I can do that. I have no problem communicating with a person who's trans. What I got a problem with is being lied to. That's what I got an issue with. Being lied to. Some people may be referring to what I said on the Drunken Peasants, which, to be perfectly honest, when I go back on there, I got a few words for the host on there for setting me up with that one or whatever. But, you know, if you remember that, Billy the Fridge kept asking me, well, what if you went on a date with somebody? He did this on purpose. He says, what if you went on a date with somebody and I thought that they was a woman, but I didn't know that they were trans. And then they told me that they was trans, like during the date or when we got married or something like that. I'm going to be angry. And I told the truth about how I felt about it. Get a baseball bat, get some barbed wire, and I'll go Cactus Jack on them. Then people heard that, and they went all over YouTube and said, oh my God, look at him, what he wants to do. He's one of the problems. Ah. Not realizing it was a setup question and trying to make me look bad on here. Tell me something, guys. Let's say that you went on a date with a got the curves and everything. You introduced that person to your mom and your dad and all your friends and whatnot. Y'all kissed a few times, right? Yeah, you shared the tongue and everything. I'm talking about the straight guys, by the way. You gave them the tongue and everything. You have dinner and then she got, I got something I got to tell you. not really a woman. The fake people out there are going to say, by God, by golly gee, gar, 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 gar. Man, thank you for telling me this. You know what? I'm going to put my shirt down like this. I'm going to get up and thank you for being honest with me. That's when you know you're dealing with a disingenuous liar who doesn't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Because we all know that that's how people in our society react to that kind of stuff today. You know what I mean? So if you want to try to convince me that you'll behave like that, by all means, you go ahead. I would love to meet you in person to see whether or not that's really true, though. Because I can set something like that up for you. I know a whole bunch of these people. Let me see something here. You mean when I met her in person or when I saw her on camera? I'm a little different when it comes to attraction. I go by personality first and then physical attraction second. I'm a little different with that. Most times, not all the time, but most times. If I like your personality and I like having conversation, and I can have a conversation with you, and I can and there's there's something there. That's how attraction happens. But just because you're pretty, don't mean I want to be with you. I'm sorry. There's a lot of pretty people here on social media. It doesn't mean I want to be with them. I learned a long time ago that beauty mess. Eventually, you're gonna get the wrinkles. Your hair is gonna fall out. Eventually, you're gonna be walking with a kid. You can't go by that. You got to go by a person's personality and everything. Not gonna call a dude, ma'am. All right. Black people are the number one people who need to reject Jesus because his European people have been very hostile. I disagree with that. Now, I don't even know what you mean by that. Anyway, let's continue. GMan, when are you going to stop deflecting and rap battle Shabisky on the Drunken Peasants? I gave him a text message to, no, not a text message. I gave him an email message today. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, is this him? Let me see, because I can show you guys this if I want. Let me see. Yeah, but I did respond to him. He probably sent it to my other email. I don't want to. Actually, matter of fact, can I do that right now without messing up my Oh, that's why I couldn't see it. Let me come out of this and go to my other email. Is this the one right here? No. This is a different YouTuber. Okay. Yeah, but on the other email, I already said that I would do it. So the Drunken Peasants know I'll do it. I think I already put it in their chat too, or whatever. All races were enslaved. Islam actually promotes slavery. You're right about that. Every group of people, every people group out there has been a slave. Their ancestors have been enslaved at some point or another. But people don't want to talk about that because it doesn't fit agendas, you know? At least Christianity ended slavery while Islam promotes it. Amen. Okay, stop deflecting from the rap battle. Shabisky will beat you at. Who is Shabisky anyway? Who the heck is this Shabisky person? I don't know what y'all talking about. Anyway, so let me see something here. Okay, James Corvus says the so-called moral slavery in the Bible is from an Israelite slave, not a slave from the other people surrounding them. Okay, the Bible tells them that you can mistreat them. We are not Israelites. Now, this is where you got it screwed up. There are 600. There's a Mosaic law And it doesn't matter if the Israelites are enslaving other Israelites or making them servants or whatever, or they become indentured servants. At the end of the day, the Israelite still has to obey the Mosaic law. And if you actually familiarize yourself with the law, you would know that those people would not be allowed to work on the Sabbath day, not in the nation of Israel. There are laws on how to treat your Hebrew slaves, and then there are laws on how to deal with the foreign slaves as well. Again, some people read it and they don't understand what they're reading. That's why when I call the atheist experience and I talked to Matt Dillahunty about it, Matt Dillahunty wasn't ready for a lot of the responses that I was giving him, because a lot of people, let me tell you guys a secret. A lot of people that call the atheist experience and talked about the slavery issue with him are Caucasian men or women. And for some reason, they're very uncomfortable talking about this topic, maybe because of the history of this country or whatever. Problem is that when you talk to a person like me, and I can prove that I'm a descendant of slaves, you're not talking to somebody who wasn't part of the transatlantic, somebody's family who hasn't been part of the transatlantic slave trade. My family was part of the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, I think that's why the Hebrew Israelites was all over me trying to convince me that I was a Hebrew Israelite. But what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. But I know the difference between the transatlantic slave trade and the slavery that we see in the Bible. It's just a difference. There's a difference. GMan, do you agree that a lessee portion of the population commit a disproportionate amount of crimes? Are you trying to ask me a question about whether or not black people commit the most crimes that black people commit more crimes per capita than any other group of people out there? Because I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. Mainly because a lot of black people can't afford a lawyer, and there's a lot of people out there that commit crimes that can afford a lawyer and get their slate clean after they get the lawyer. You'd be surprised what we could do if we actually had some money. How you doing? Catch me if you can. 533. Educated blacks don't support Black Lives Matter. You better believe that. because we know full well what that's all about. You're not going to use us to try to promote that other group. I don't think so. Oh, we're just like you. We'll be a person. just stop it. No, you're not. You ain't been through nothing like what we've been through in this country. All right. The transatlantic slave trade was in the Caribbean, South America, Central America, and North America. Most of the clergy in the South were for slavery based in the Old Testament scripture. There is something that's going around saying that the Bible condones slavery, and that the reason why slavery was allowed in the United States or got popular in the United States is because the Bible said it's okay to have slaves. What a lot of people don't know is that the people that was using that were using something called the Slave Bible. You want to look something up that's really interesting, go look it up, because they omit a lot of Bible verses that would have stopped the transatlantic slave trade in its tracks. For example, did you know in the Bible that it says if your slave ran away, they was allowed to go free? Do you know what they did to you if you ran away during the transatlantic slave trade? They cut your foot off, or they whipped you to the point that you had to accept a new identity. They beat you pretty bad. Sometimes they just killed you. A lot of the things, the majority of the things that you saw going on during the transatlantic slave trade, you couldn't do in the Bible. You just couldn't. And yes, the prison system is slavery. I call it slavery. That's exactly what it is. You ain't got no autonomy in prison. Why do you think that Matt Dillahunty has been ducking me all of these years? Because Dillahunty don't have an answer for that. It ain't just him. It was Dr. Josh who had to admit that it was a form of slavery. Scholar of fiction. There was a bunch of people that debated on this topic that had to admit that it was a form of slavery. They sit there and say, oh, I don't trust the Bible because the Bible condones slavery. I said, wait a minute, so do you. Do you condone the prison system, yes or no? If somebody killed your mother or your father or your cousin, do you want them to get thrown in the loony bin, or you want them thrown into prison? Because no matter which one they go to, it's a form of slavery, because you're going there against your will. And your autonomy is going to be stripped from you. There's no getting around it. There is moral slavery, and then there's immoral slavery. Golly, gosh. That's what some people would do. Oh, you're not a woman. Thank you for not wasting no more of my time. I greatly appreciate. Seriously, that's how people think that I would react in that situation. A lot of people respect and like me because I say the things that some people are here afraid to say. Better believe I'll be upset, man. Please. But I do. But I'm like most black people. I tend to exaggerate what I would exactly do. You know what I mean? I really exaggerate. And as a matter of fact, I remember when I was a kid, and I would get in trouble, and my mom said, "Okay, you're on punishment. You'll get your you know what in that room." And when I get in there, I put it to you this way: the things that she said to me was very similar to what you've seen in Harlem Nights ×10. But it would be and then that'd be it, or I get the belt. It just depends on what I did. Let me see. We were not talking about a man pretending to be a woman. We're talking about a trans woman. What I'm saying to you is this. If I'm on a date with a woman, okay, and I've been dating this woman for a while or whatever, right? And we kissed, we did the tongue and all that other stuff and whatnot. You know what I mean? And we're talking about marriage. And then, or not even that. Let's just say it's a date and we kissed. And you didn't tell me that you was a man, and you you got everything changed to become a woman, and you didn't tell me that. On behalf of every black man in the United States of America, I'm talking about the real ones. I ain't talking about these little fake people who lost their black cards. I'm talking about the real ones. On behalf of all of us here in the United States of America, we feel sorry for you. We really do. Because there are people that are a lot worse than me that will get on here and tell you with a lot of colorful metaphors on what they would do. I'm nice compared to a lot of these guys out here. I know. GMan, what are you doing for a living these days? Handyman stuff? I fix appliances now. I fix appliances and I still do construction. I fix stoves and I fix refrigerators. And I still do construction, but I'm looking to retire soon. So I'm looking for a way to do that. My God is a loving God, forgiving God, and loves everyone. His name is Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Amen and amen. But let me just put a caveat on that. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever would believe in him would not perish, but have everlasting life. That's John chapter 3, verse 16. John chapter 3, verse 17 says, for God did not send his son in the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Then there's verse 18 that says, what does it say? For God sent not his son in the world to condemn the world, but the world through him might be saved. He who believes is not condemned. He who believes and trusts in Jesus is not condemned. But he who believes not is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. So while he's a loving God, he's also a God that means what he says when he's going to punish those who remain in their sin. Let me see. Wisdom, beauty fades to gray. Mascotch ism world 1507. Okay, a lot of sniffing going on. GMan, please tell me go ain't on that booger sugar. I think he's trying to say that I'm on drugs. No, I'm actually not feeling well. I got a head cold. I have a head cold. I'm taking this stuff right here. I'll show you. So I'm not feeling all that well. As a matter of fact, all right. Now, my lighting was terrible. Why is the light like this? Okay. That's much better. My light like that. Okay. Shabisky is one of the drunken peasants. He's one of the hosts, G-Man. What happened to Billy the Fridge? Did you see the episode where I predicted that Billy would destroy the drunken peasants and people would stop watching? For crying out loud, Carrie gets more live viewers than they do. Sometimes I do. Let me see. Christianity tortured and murdered thousands, if not millions, in the Middle Ages. Come on, man. Here's the thing. There were people out there saying that they were Christians doing that. You're referring to the Roman Catholic Church and the things that they actually did. I don't support the Roman Catholic Church. I'll put it to you that way. But if you're talking about what happened in Europe, that was the Roman Catholic Church. That was not Protestants. We don't believe in that stuff. Draven's Crypt. Hey, man, I have a question that we get into. But how did Shani meet you? How did Shani meet me? If I'm not mistaken, I met Shani in a Skype call with Rand Campbell. I had a Skype call with Rand, and Rand started randomly inviting all these people into the room. That's when I met Galaxy Dreams. That's when I met the Bible Thumping Weena. That's when I met Matthew 4:19. That's when I met Raw. That's when I met Ron. And then Shani was there too. So I wasn't part of the Great Debate community. Rand was responsible for bringing me in the Great Debate community. And that's how I met everybody. That's how I met Shani. I didn't know any of their history. I wouldn't know any of their history until we started having our disagreements, because I'm the kind of person that when that starts happening, I believe that you should start doing some backgrounds on some people in terms of like looking at their past videos and stuff. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff on here. Dreamers Crypt. Yo, what's up? Okay, yes, I'm. Okay, let me see. The truth will always come out. Yes, it will. And if you want to know where I stand when it comes to LGBTQ, go look up GMan versus the Bedkeeper, and don't get offended when you listen to it. For those of you who don't know who the Bedkeeper is, his name was Brian. I forget his last name, but early on in my YouTube career, we had a debate on whether or not Jesus was gay and whether or not David was gay and all these other people in the scriptures and whatnot, whether or not they were gay. He wrote a book called The Bedkeeper, and he had some arguments on there that I never heard before. So I went on Blog Talk Radio and I had a debate with him on Debate Talk for You. I've been on that show many times. I went on Debate Talk for You, and me and him got into a debate. And I'll put it to you this way. If you want to hear somebody be blunt about where I stand on this particular matter, in love, go listen to that debate. I promise you, if Hussey listens to it, Hussey will never call me gay again. Never, because he will never want to hear me talk about this again. That I promise you. A lot of them in the geek room know how I really feel about this. They know because I've been on their YouTube channel. Go look up G-Man versus Bionic Dance on the geek room if they still got it up there. I've been on their channel and talked about this. Go look at me talking to Bionic Dance on the Non Sequitur show. Go look at me talking about this topic with her on my G-Man versus the World channel. Not G-Man versus the World, on my G-Man channel, which has been changed, by the way. It's now it's called G-Man for Christ now. I kind of changed it. It's like I changed this one to the GTV 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have some fun on this YouTube channel moving forward. I'm really gonna have me some fun, but because apparently, everybody's seen all the videos, and there's nothing on here that G-Man hasn't shown yet. And like I said, anybody on here who's been watching me for any period of time, you know how I rock. I always hold on to stuff. Come on now, everybody ain't see everything yet. That's a bunch of baloney. I will confirm so many different things on here. It's not even funny. And all that mess about me being friends with people, because they got money. That's gonna be the easiest one to debunk, and that's gonna be the first one I'm gonna debunk. Okay. Yes. Did you know Nate the lawyer had brain surgery. I heard he is doing good. No, I did not know he had brain surgery. I've not been watching his channel. I'll look into it. I think I still got his phone number. Maybe I'll just call him. If he had the same number, I can just call him. You know, seeing I ain't got no friends on here and everything and whatnot. Nobody likes me on here. Nobody's ever wanted to associate with me or nothing like that, according to Hussey. I'm still laughing at that stupidity. Let me see. I'm going to run one more marathon. I don't know if I'm getting... I have 3 options for a marathon this year. I can do the New Jersey Marathon, which will be in Long Branch. That would be number 7. Number 7. That one is going to take place the first week in May, if they do it. I have another option of doing the one in Jersey City, which is going to be, I think, in June. It's either in June or August, but I don't want to run in that heat because it's very hard to run in humid weather. I don't usually last more than maybe 2 or 3 miles in too much humidity. It's not, well, actually, I can do more than 2 or 3 miles. Let me stop lying. How far did I go? I could probably do about 8 in some really deep humidity. But I'm not going to run no 26 miles in no humidity. That ain't going to happen. And then there's the last 2 I did, which was in the Steamtown a marathon over there in Scranton. It starts over there at that high school. I forget the name of the town or whatever, but it starts at that high school and it goes. Actually, believe it or not, it actually goes through Peckville before you actually go into Scranton. I remember I was pretty close to Shanty and Red when I ran that last one. I thought they was going to see me. I think politically correct talk is over. Yeah, let me see. Do you know that the British Empire was the first empire and the only one in history to ban slavery? That's not true. That is baloney. Okay, so who was the king or the queen when this happened? That's not true. What century are we talking about? Who was the king or the queen when this happened? I gotta look into this because that ain't true. Who is that, G-Man? Indigo Butterfly? In what sense? What are you talking about? When I ran a marathon? I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Rudolph. I love your commentary, dude, but I have to disagree. France was the first to ban slavery before 1920 W. Okay. 1933. Find yourself a young white dude with, I'll tell you what, why don't you ask Jason whether or not I'm LGBTQ? Go ask him that. I dare you. Make sure you get that on camera when you ask him. That was funny. I got to give you that one. So we have this person here leaving a comment. Next, let's see something here. Y'all remember that comment I said that people care about slavery and whatnot, but make racist jokes and are racist? Anyway, let's continue. Let me see. When you said weird people on one of your streams, what did you mean by that? Are you talking about when I was talking about like Hussey, or are you talking about the people that Hussey hangs around? Or are you referring to when I was trolling on his channel? I need to know the specifics on what you mean by me weird people. Because if I wasn't trolling, I'll be blunt with you about who I was talking about regarding that. Or, you know what? Maybe you're talking about when I was referring to Hussey wearing a wig and wearing red lipstick. See, here's the thing. When I walk outside my place, Okay? When I walk outside, I don't see men wearing wigs. And I don't see men wearing lipstick. I don't see that. The only time I see stuff like that is when I go to the circus, watch WWE, go to a movie theater, or when I go to some extravagant event or something like that. But I don't see that in normalcy. It is very rare that I see stuff like that. So, of course, to me, it's going to be very rare. Oh, I'm sorry, not rare, weird. Very weird. I mean, think about it. How often do you walk outside and you see that? I'm still trying to cope with men walking around with fingernail polish. I'm still trying to cope with that, but it's out there. People are doing it. I'll go check his channel and go see what he's saying about that. These days, you got to be careful when people come out and say things like that they're a Christian. You got to go look at them and listen to their story, and then you got to like use discernment to see whether or not that's true. Because I believed that about Shanny for a long time, and it turns out I was wrong. See that, Draven? I don't tell you who your friends can be. You notice that? I don't tell you who your friends can be. All right, so nobody's got no more questions. Excellent. Let me see something here. G-Man, do you ever run? I don't know what that is. Let me see. G-Man, why do you support child abusers? Can you elaborate on what you mean by that, please? Because I can assume that can mean a lot of things. And if you don't want a broad answer, be a little bit more specific, if you don't mean, if you don't mind me doing that. Because I would love to get into that topic on why I support why you think I support child abusers. I would love to get into that. I just need a little bit more be a little bit more specific. And I'm gonna leave that there until you actually follow up with what you got to say on it. Pasta eating boy. Let's see if I skipped your question. Let me see. Pasta eating boy, you better make another comment. Like I said, I got a pretty good idea about this crowd that's watching me right now. This don't seem like my normal crowd. I got a pretty good idea about this crowd here. So you might not want to ask me this question here, right here. This is something that you might not want to try to get into with me. Because like I said, these are all sock accounts. I don't think these are, well, a lot of these are sock accounts. So I don't think you want to ask me this question here. Considering what I know about certain folk on here. Okay, here we go here. It's not Christian to abuse and neglect kids, yet you support it to child abusers. Okay, so you're talking about Shanny and Rev, right? If you're asking me why I friends with Shanny and Rev, because I was friends with them. I was friends with them. Whenever I was around Shanny and Rev, they did not abuse them in my presence. I'll say this again. They did not abuse them in my presence. The reason why, excuse me. Give me a second here, guys. I'm sorry. Give me a second here. I'm sorry. Give me a second here. Oh, man. Doesn't take that stuff long to work. Okay. Oh. All right. Okay. So I was friends with Shanny and Rev, and those kids wasn't abused in my presence. You know what I mean? Whenever I was around them, they was on their best behavior. So I'm not 100% sure where you're getting at with that, because I see people join rooms where the host is saying, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to my channel." Then they talk as friends. Then we do a little bit of digging and we find out some disgusting things about those people, and they end up defending them. Here's an example. The Geek Room had a show. the Geek Room had a guest on that show. It was Scientist Sam. Scientist Sam went in there and made a racist joke. And everybody on that YouTube channel, as well as their friends, all made excuses for him. I'm just saying. And that's just one example. Then there's Underhaven, and there's several other people on here that we all know about that did similar things. That's what I'm trying to understand this here. You know, when it says it's not Christian to abuse and neglect kids. I agree with that. Yet you supported two child abusers. No, I supported two poor people who couldn't afford food, who didn't have a roof over their head, and needed I'm sorry. Allow me to elaborate further on this to even bring this home even more. I supported two homeless people who had children. I supported two poor people who couldn't get their own food on a regular basis. Are you suggesting that I should not have supported the parents so that the children could have starved? Yes or no? I need some new material. GMan, I need a favor. Let me know you read this and I'll ask. Okay. GMan didn't know there was, there was child abuse. And when Jason hinted at it, Shanny made a video in response right after, stating no abuse ever happened, and then threatened him. I will be going into this more soon. Oh, we both will, sir. We both will. Because like I said, the same people. See, here's my thing about Hussey and his clique that's asking this question here. All I want to know is how many dollars they actually gave to them when they were living inside of my house. And I know how many dollars they gave. They gave $0.00 to those kids when they were hungry. They gave $0.00 when they were cold. And you want to know something even better? When they were freezing, they made videos laughing at Shanny and Rev. They made videos laughing at them because Shanny and Rev wasn't the only ones that was cold. It was the kids too. And this Hussey is where I exempt you because you apparently didn't cover Shanny. You was covering Foodie Beauty. But why aren't you going after the people who was laughing at them for not having heaters while the kids froze to death? I'm just curious. If you can ask me this question, why don't you ask the Dork Room that question? Dragnut that question. Jules Tells All that question. And Burnt Toast that question. And all of them and whatnot. Go ask them that question. Go ask all of them why they were laughing at them instead of getting them heaters. Well, we didn't want to give them money so that they could get drugs. DoorDash. DoorDash. Stop with the excuses. You guys act like y'all the only ones that can go make accusations. Man, please, you wait till I start playing these older videos. You guys gonna see what I mean. Because believe me, I made videos about this. They think because GTV is not here no more that my GTV videos are gone. They think because Marked by God is gone that all of those videos are gone. No, I have all of those videos. Every last one of them. That's why GTV is going to be fun. Because I am not about to sit back and let these people lie about me when I can just destroy them with a single video. Like I'm going to do with Hussey, because I'm literally going to play laughing music in the background like I'm the Joker the entire time the video was playing. Because, you know, I'm only friends with people because they got money. Hey, Draven, are you rich? No, I don't think he's rich. Been on Carrie's channel. I don't think she's rich. Let me see something here. I've been on I've been in the Geek Room. I know they're not rich. They're as broke as they come. I've been on Dragnut's channel. I don't recall him being rich. I met Dragnut in person. Let me see something here. I met Becco in person. I've been friends with him forever. He's not rich. Let me see. I got a lot of poor friends. As a matter of fact, I can make arguments that being poor is being better than being rich. because of the amount of life experience that you get. You don't want to have this discussion with somebody like me because you're going to end up learning something. G-Man, you're okay in my book. Thanks. I appreciate it. I wanted to be Rev's friend because Rev needed somebody. Let's not forget that this guy was being abused by Shanny. Let's not try to sit here and pretend that this guy wasn't being starved and that he was emotionally destroyed by this woman. You're not going to cherry pick history to try to make a narrative. You absolutely right. I tried to be his friend because he needed one. If you was down and out of your luck and out of luck, regardless of what you did in the past, you're going to need at least one friend to help you get back up. And this is a word that I want some people to start getting used to. It's called repentance, change, not doing the same thing anymore, becoming a different person. If you're not making these videos in order to get a person to change, why are you doing this? I am the last YouTuber you want to have a discussion with this about. And allow me to say this too, because I said this on the old GTV channel, and I'm going to say this on this GTV channel. GTV is cancel proof. GTV is cancel proof. You want to know why? The second you come after me, G-Man, you're a terrible person. You're a terrible person. I'm going to start preaching on here. I'm going to go get my Bible. I'm going to remind you what sin, righteousness, and judgment is, and you ain't going to want to have that discussion with me. That's all I got to say. I'm even thinking about bringing back the pre-trials and putting Hussey right there in the center of it. Get some Christians say, we're going to do a pre-trial. Sodom and Gomorrah style. Let's talk about Hussey here for a minute. You don't want none of this. You don't want none of this smoke. Let me see. But you want to know what's interesting about that, Scientist Sam? Why did William get on here and say that he agrees that some of you messed with the apartment? I'm not going to sit here in front. I've seen firsthand how disgusting those two are with how they keep their place. Don't get it twisted. The bed that they were sleeping in my house was disgusting. Don't get it wrong. I believe Betty when she said what she said in her video. I know how Shanny left the house when they was going to when they moved out of the house to go to the hotel. But I don't know. William got on here and said that that people went over there and they messed with some stuff. I mean, he lived there. I think he would know better than me, right? Okay. The boys were underweight. The boys did not have underwear or beds to sleep on. That is neglect. Well, first of all, they were poor and they couldn't afford those things. They did have a bed because I bought the bed. They had underwear because, well, Zachary had underwear. William already had it already. Zachary had underwear because I bought him underwear. When do we distinguish poverty? When do we distinguish poverty from neglect? You understand what I'm saying? So, yes, there were things. Now, I can make better arguments on what Shanny and Rev could have actually did based on what they actually had and what they deemed to be more important than some other things. But to sit there and say that when G-Man went to the house to check on things and that he saw a child without underwear or he saw a child without a bed, or whatever, and then you start cherry picking parts of the story and whatnot that I know you're not bringing up. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Jenny and Red moved in that place when the place was still being worked on. Okay, if you remember in the backyard, it had like that big awning that was on it. I tore that thing down while they were living inside the house because if I threw them out of there, they had nowhere to go. You got to remember, it ain't just Shanny and Rev. And this is what you guys tend to forget when you start talking like this. If I throw Shanny and Rev out, the kids got to go too. This is why I know what audience I'm talking to right now. I know exactly who's in this audience now. Okay? If I throw them out, I throw the kids out. So don't give me this trash that you care about the kids and you're constantly, and believe me, I got the videos to prove that all you did was tell me to throw them out. You told me to do it over and over and over again. You tried to use peer pressure, trying to get me to throw them out. And we both know that if I threw them out, the kids had to go too. So you better stop that. Because the videos I'm going to be playing on this channel is not going to help you. You think I don't got the David Anthony videos where they were laughing at Shanny and Rev about no, not David Anthony. Do you think I don't have the videos where a lot of the people in here was talking about don't give them heaters? Don't give them heaters. Don't give them heaters. It's on X's archive. And it's also on my channel. So stop it. If you're going to throw that argument on me and say that G-Man supports neglect, what does that say about YouTube when YouTube is supporting the idea of the kids being thrown out in the street? Because this is my positive claim now. My positive claim is that Scientist Sam, the Geek Room, Dragnut, and the rest of these other people in here who wanted to see Shanny get kicked out wanted the kids to be homeless too. Because you forget Shanny is the parent. Shanny gets thrown out, so does the kids. If I don't give Shanny and Rev money to buy food, who do you think goes hungry? Take a guess. If I don't give Shanny and Rev money for food and I don't take them food shopping, who do you think is going to go hungry? You want to accuse me of neglect. You people out there that was making those YouTube videos at that particular time are the worst child abusers in the history of the planet because you was the ones that was laughing at them when they had nothing to eat. You hypocrites. Or do I need to make public those videos again where I called out that community for being a bunch of hypocrites on here? You're telling me literally, stop feeding, stop giving them money. If I stop giving them money, the kids don't eat. If I don't take the kids shopping, they don't have no underwear. If I don't take the kids to go get a bed, they don't have a bed. If I don't take the kids to go get certain things, they don't have it. What kind of stupidity is that? Invite William to your YouTube channel and explain that to him. And watch how stupid you look. It just irritates me with that. This level of as a matter of fact, it's time. It's time. And y'all kind of, for the people that's doing this, I know who's not doing it and I know who's doing it. This is how I view the people who are making these stupid arguments. You're telling me I supported neglect. You was the people laughing at them when they had no heat. You were laughing at them when they had no heat. You knew the kids were there. And you laughed at them. You told people not to give them food. And who do you think led the way? Broke Nut Silvers with no shirt on. Come on. Cut the baloney. I gave Shanny money for food so that they can all eat. If you're going to sit there and say I'm a bad person for doing that, you can take a smack just like Hussey did. And you can go fly a kite somewhere. That's what you can do. Because as Bill Cosby would say, when you make an argument like that, this is how Bill feels about it.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You can't sit there and tell me that I saw neglect and then I did something about it. Like I saw them being hungry, and then I fed them. And I ain't just feed Zachary. I ain't just feed William. I fed Shanny and Rev. You don't know what it's like to take your last little bit of money. And by the way, William, if you're watching this, this is a hypothetical. This is not literal, okay? Because I don't remember the kind of cereal I bought you guys. But you know how annoying it is when you go and buy a $5 box of cereal and you give it to a child and they say they're hungry and they go, I don't want that. Very, 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 very annoying. But I'm a bad person because I helped them? Let me tell you something. I hope everybody who knows me watches this video. This is why I don't like dealing with people who don't work. It's very annoying. Very, very, very annoying. You try to do the right thing. You try to help people. And then what ends up happening? What ends up happening? Okay, no matter what you do, you should have. So now it's time for my positive claim now. And my positive claim is, scientists said, why were you laughing at, no. What did Dragnut do when Dragnut saw Shanny and Rev hungry? What did he do? He made a YouTube video going out there eating lobster bisque. Why do you think old Baldilocks is not in this community no more? Okay? Drightnut got on here knowing that that household was hungry. And what did he do? I'm going out with the woman to go get some lobster bisque. You know what G-Man did? G-Man caught an Uber for $200 from one location to another, and G-Man fed them. What did you do? What did you do? You laughed at them, you called CPS, and you did all this other stuff. That's what you did. Don't give me this garbage that G-Man supported. You do not want none of this smoke. You just don't want it. You don't want it. Go ask William, did I see any neglect? You won't do that because you know you'll get owned. You know that's what's going to happen. But let's take it a step further. When they got back from Colorado, and Shanny was trying to get money to go buy food for her kids and whatnot, right? And this is when the false CPS call, the false CPS call was made. When I was telling, when people were trying to tell them back then, look, don't call CPS under false pretenses. Yet you guys was doing it anyway. And she lost $1,000. She lost $1,000. Just like that. Right in front of me, too. When they had spaghetti and meatballs in the house. When they had a refrigerator full of food. This is the thing. You know what I mean? So, I like people making this claim. I like people making this claim so much that one of the videos that I'm going to show on here, you're going to see certain YouTubers you know on here laughing at William and Zachary not eating. And it won't be me. Just because Drag's channel is gone, don't mean his videos are gone. Okay? I told you guys that when we made peace, and I said I was going to let bygones be bygones, not to try me again. But apparently, we didn't learn anything from the last time. So since Hussey is so interested in looking at people who supports neglect, okay, I'm going to show Hussey several of his friends who supports it. And I won't be the only YouTuber doing it. I'm going to share the love with everybody. On GTV, ladies and gents, we expose people here. And we expose them so hard that the only thing left to do is to give Hussey a name. We're not going to call him the Minnesota Barracuda because he's not from Minnesota. He's from New York without the accent. Okay? Okay? Anyway, yeah, I got a little triggered on that one, ladies and gentlemen, because like I said, when liars unite, they come out and say, G-Man, you knew there was neglect. Listen to me. You can say whatever you want. All I know is I don't remember seeing anybody here on YouTube other than myself going out there and helping those kids. I hear a lot of people talking about what the kids shouldn't go through. There's a lot of blah 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 going on. But when it's time to go in your pocket and actually start pulling some money out, I don't see you doing anything. And then you got Hussey going around saying, G-Man, why don't you give William $500? I've done that and then some. I ain't talking about lately. I'm talking about when they lived in that house. When they lived rent-free, gas-free, garbage-free, water-free, and they was being fed every month. A lot more than your little puny $500. This is what cracks me up. So, you can believe that G-Man supported neglect all you want. But now I'm going to change this topic a little bit and make this a little bit uncomfortable for some people since we're talking about neglect and whatnot. Tell me something, Miss Hussey, since you're in my chat. Is getting a spanking a bad thing? Yes or no? Would that be considered abuse? I'm going to show you how fast, how quickly you can destroy a fake person from New York. Is getting a spanking abuse, yes or no? We are no longer talking about William and Zachary. Is getting a spanking wrong, yes or no? In the chat, if you believe that getting a spanking is wrong, please hit 1. If you believe that getting a spanking is not wrong, hit 2. For the people who know how I go about debating, you already know what's going to happen. Because it doesn't matter which one you pick, you're lost. It doesn't matter which one you pick, you're lost. You hit number 1 if you believe that spanking is okay. You hit number 2 if it's not okay. Number 1 if it's okay. Number 2 if it's not okay. Talking about a spanking. Sit down. Come on now. I only see one person who voted. I see 2 people who voted. Let's get some accountability on here real quick. Hold on. We got this person here. Hold on. We got this person who hit 2. We got this person here that hit 1. So now we got at least 2 people who's accountable. And that said that spanking is either right or wrong. We got a 1 that says that it is okay. And we got a number 2 that says it's not okay. Come on, I'm waiting for the vote. Come on, scientist Sam. You study science. Vote. Come on. Be held accountable. We know people don't like to show their face on camera so they can be held accountable. Come on. Number 1 or number 2. Okay? Is it okay or is it not okay? Come on. I mean, you guys are so intelligent and so smart. Because I got so many different ways to talk about abuse. It's not even funny. Like honestly. Wait till you hear the second time we're going to vote. Because you're not going to like that one. Come on. Tell me something. In the 1950s, was it wrong to spank your child? Yes or no? In the 1960s, was it right? I'm not even going to go back further than that because that's just too easy for me, okay? In the 1960s, was it wrong to spank your child? Yes or no? In the 1970s, was it wrong to spank your child? Yes or no? In the 1980s, was it wrong to spank your child? Yes or no? In the 1990s, was it wrong to spank your child? Yes or no? In the 2000s, is it wrong to spank your child? Yes or no? Because I'm sorry, when I grew up, the teachers was allowed to get a ruler and do this to you in school. A lot of you, there's a lot of people who are watching this. It's got to be like 13 or 14 years old. Like honestly, let's talk about this here for a minute. Okay, why is spanking your child wrong? If you really want, let me put the link out there. I'm about to destroy these people out here. Because when you hear my second question, y'all gonna go run for the hills. Because GMan saw neglect and he did nothing. That makes him a bad guy, huh? Click the link. Come in here. I dare you. Click the link and come in here. Because the second question is even juicier. What happens when you're a YouTuber and you know that a child is freezing cold and they're hungry and you don't give them any money to get a heater? Just curious. What does that make you? Just curious. What does that make you? If you see a child freezing and being cold and you, as a YouTuber, know about this and you are super chatting and you are super chatting content creators, but you are not sending a dime to get a heater, what does that make you? This is why I love cancel culture. Cancel culture is the best thing that ever happened to me here on YouTube. You want to know why? Because now it's time to bring up the morality topic. If you're a YouTuber and you see a child freezing and you do nothing, what does that make you? Click the link. I don't see nobody coming in here. If this is so easy, click the link. Don't sing it. Bring it. Draven, I bought them 3 heaters. Shani and Rev, no. I bought them 4 heaters because the other room was so big. And the way the house, when I go on your channel, Draven, we're going to talk about this in detail on how the cold air was coming in the house and whatnot from the basement and everything and whatnot. But Shani and Rev had 2 heaters in their room initially. And Zachary and William only needed 1 because those heaters were strong and their rooms got really hot when they had their heaters. So let's talk about this again. Come on, Hussy. This shouldn't be difficult for you. Go take your medication. Go take your Alzheimer's stuff or whatever you need to go take and answer the question. If you're a YouTuber and you know a child is freezing and you do nothing about it but laugh at the parent, what does that make you? Just curious. I hear a lot of people getting on Carrie's case because Carrie was friendly with Shani. That Carrie was friendly with Shani because she wanted to support because she wanted to support Shani a little bit or give her some words of encouragement because of what Jason did. And then when she decided to back away, that makes her a bad person because she was nice to Shani. Look at what Carrie did the second Jason came back into the picture. There is so much stupid on social media. It is unbelievable. What you do to the parents, you are doing to the children. Did you know when you flagged Shani's Cash App and she wasn't able to get no money no more and no more food stamps, you were also attacking the children too? But you want to talk to me about how the children want? You do not want to have that discussion with me because I don't just talk about it. I have visual proof. I have visual proof. I can show you the emails where they said that you're going to starve and you ain't going to be able to get no money no more. I can show you these things because when I was friends with them, I saw the emails. Do not try that with me. Just because I made peace with that other group over there, don't necessarily mean that I'm gonna sit here and let you come in here with your little 1942 dumb arguments in here. It's not gonna happen. I know what I'm guilty of. I know what I've done, and I confess all of that stuff on here. But I am not about to let you buffoons come on my channel and tell me, hey, you knew about them, and you knew about them, and you knew that. Shut up. You laughed at them. You laughed at them. And you think I'm not going to show everybody? You think you're done now. You're going to really be done when those videos get on here. They're going to call you disgusting. They're going to call you evil. And what about all the times that you guys did that stuff and you said that you wasn't a good person and that you was a sadist and you like to watch people suffer? You think I don't have those videos? Do you guys know who you're talking to? Or did you forget what you put me through not that long ago? Because I didn't. All that racist garbage that was coming out of Scientist Sam's mouth, we're going to relive that all over again. Me, Gentleman Pioneer, Grand Ultimate Villain, and everybody else who was around during that time. Don't sing it, bring it. All right? So, Loudmouth Hussy, I don't recall you giving Zachary and William a dime when they was freezing, when they was cold inside the house. I don't recall even seeing you visit. I don't recall you doing it one time. I don't recall you giving them a loaf of bread. I don't recall you even giving them a butter roll. What I do see you do is do a stream and make stuff up about people and lie all day. Then have the nerve to take people to court? Dude, you're dealing with a different breed right here. Not only will you not win going to court, but I will absolutely eviscerate you, sir. Because you done lied on your YouTube channel so many times, I can take you there right now if I want to. But I'm not going to. I'm going to wait for your dumb behind to try to sue me. That's what I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for your stupid, uneducated, riding the yellow school bus behind, try to deal with me. So, you want to sit there and you want to talk about me and my motivations for being friends with Shani and Rev and whatnot, and you're going to sit there and talk about that? Dude, you're going to get destroyed and humiliated. You're going to get humiliated. This is my challenge for you, Loudmouth Hussy. I want you to invite Tragic to your home or invite Tragic out to dinner and go eat with him. Because you, my friend, will never get to say you did this.
It's time for preaching to the choir ministries.
The fool has said, in his heart there is no God, they are corrupt.
Okay, guys, this is GMan preaching to the choir ministries. Hey, I got the shock of my life here a minute ago. I can't show you everybody that is here. What I can do is show you who I got shocked with here. You know, you all know I meet Hannah every now and then here in New York, but when I show you this, you're gonna be like, what? So check this out. First of all, can I even do this? Okay, so just hold on a minute here. I'm gonna turn the camera on him right now.
Hello, it's Talking Shit Thursday.
I'm like, what? And then, whoa. It gets better. It gets better. Watch this. Come on. Come here. Come here. Oh, you know I'm having some fun later. Talk to you guys later. Okay, JD Kane, you got something positive you want to say about me for a change?
You are a very sexy man.
What? Okay, can you give me something positive, please?
That's Hannah.
That's not good to hear from another man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, but you got that bill now.
Oh Lord, okay, that's. I'm here with the founding members of TST. It would be JD Kane, who is being. You probably wondering about this loudmouth hussy and why that's important. Okay, those people that I was eating with, those people that I met and I was chilling with at that particular day were the same people that was making hateful videos about me, wishing my death and my destruction on here and slandering me to death. I don't get so mad at people on here that I can't sit down and have a meal with them. When I get to that point, you don't even want to make a video about me. Okay, but I don't let this stuff get to me like that. I'm just a very passionate person. And the one thing I don't like is when I'm dealing with liars. Okay, so you're going to sit there and tell me I know that I knew neglect was going on, trying to slander my name. I can drag your confused behind the court, and I mean what I said. I can drag your confused, weird, mentally ill behind the court and make you prove your claims. Not with gossip, not what somebody told you in private. And then give you a G-smack of a lifetime and take your next 4 or 5 Social Security checks. Scientist Sam was one of the people laughing at the kids when they were cold inside the house and didn't have no heaters. The reason why I had to correct myself with David Anthony, because if I'm not mistaken, I think he tried to get them one. If I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go look back at the old videos. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think David Anthony either got them a heater or he sent them money for the heater and they used the money for something else. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm excluding David Anthony from this. Because David Anthony doesn't like Shanny. And David Anthony really doesn't like Shanny and Rev. But I believe that he tried to get them a heater. There is a couple of times Dragnut was suggesting that they got money together to buy them a little bit of food. And I'm talking about at the worst of Shanny and Rev. When it was in Colorado, I think, or when they were first in PA or whatever. But don't give me this garbage that GMan didn't. Hussy, let me tell you something. I just wish you was here in person. That's all I got to say. Because like I said, dude, you say a lot of stupid stuff on social media. I feel sorry for the people that think you got a brain, dude. Like, honestly, because you don't. You don't. Normally, I would just troll something like this. But I've been trolling so much this week that I really don't want to troll this. I want to be 100% serious about this. Because this is not how I'm going to be doing my videos. I'm going to be having my fun on this channel. Trust me. But I don't like when you have people out there, when you have that one person that is willing to try to help rehabilitate you or try to help you financially, try to help you get back on your feet. Because remember, I was duped and deceived just like a lot of other people here on the internet. You don't want to talk about that. Keep hearing all these victims on here. How come nobody ever calls me a victim on here? You want to call me a schemer or whatever? But I don't know why I'm surprised, because most of the people that's in my chat right now is either from the dork room or from Hussy's channel. I can tell by the amount of people that's watching. I know when the other group is over here and when they're not. So, if you think I did something, one of the things I do appreciate is a good laugh. Okay? I want you to contact CPS, the Supreme Court, your local magistrates, your local police. I want you to contact the internet court. I want you to go contact the WWE court, midgets court. I want you to go call the weirdos court. I want you to call the people's court. I want you to call Jerry Springer and call whoever you want so we can all laugh at you. That's all. Because as far as the court of public opinion goes, I win and you lose. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry. You lost. What's the name of this video that I'm going to be showing you guys soon here real quick? Hold on a minute. Where is it? Is it GTV? I think it's GTV versus the universe. I cannot wait to play that video. Let me ask you guys something. In my chat right now, how many racists you think is in my chat right now? Who has used the N-word or has made fun of black people at their worst time? How many of you think exists in this chat right now? And supported it at one time or the other? I got proof. A lot of people was like, oh, G-Man, you say you got a person's name and you got this and you got that. I'm going to put something in the background here real quick, guys. I'm going to put something in the background here just as a little reminder for some people. I didn't forget. I did not forget. I did not forget. All right? So you want to sit there and play games with me? Fine, no problem. You lie about me and I'll tell the truth about you. Get on here and pretend like you never did nothing wrong. Get on here and pretend like you never said nothing. Get on here and pretend like you care about William and Zachary when I know you don't. And you're only using them to get super chats. You talk about caring about William and Zachary. I showed that I cared about William and Zachary. And at one time, Shanny and Raph. I was the best friend Jason ever had. I was the best friend Shanny ever had. And they played me and they used me. You better believe I have a right to talk about this. Does anybody have any other questions? Oh, and then some people on here saying that G-Man's got mental issues and that G-Man, well, let me stop saying G-Man, that GTV has mental issues. I got to get used to saying that again. And that GTV has, was beaten as a kid or whatever. What does that got to do with anything in terms of like me getting a spanking? I thank God that I got my butt whipped when I was growing up, and I can tell you some doozies. I can tell you some doozies because I was not a good kid growing up. I'm not going to get on here because I'm on the internet and tell everybody when I grew up, I was a beacon of light and I did everything right. Listen to me. If you want that, go watch these little fake channels out here and whatnot. But me, I'm going to keep it real. That was not me growing up. I was Dennis the Menace times 25 million growing up. Thanks. Thank you, Jesus, for his blood. I have a reason to be the Christian that I am today. Because I know what I've been forgiven of. Thank you, Ladybugs, because you're 1,000,000,000% right about that. Anybody has the right to talk about anything and etc. Nobody is better than the other. Praise God. Thank you. That is an extremely true statement there. You're 100% right about that. All right, Daniela, 69. My kids have gotten mild spankings, but never beaten. All right. You must be doing something right. Ask Carrie did. Wait a minute, what? Ask Carrie she did for the kids. No, because Carrie's not in my chat here making these arguments and whatnot. Carrie hasn't come after me and has said this stuff to me. I'm not going to ask her nothing like that. I only want to talk to the people who are actually saying these things to me. I'm not going to ask Carrie that. It ain't none of my business. As long as she doesn't come at me about this stuff, I don't have no reason to do that with her, and I'm not going to. I don't know what it is with everybody trying to get me to go against her. It ain't gonna happen. And watch me get called a simp and all this other stuff and whatnot. I don't pick fights on here for the sake of picking fights. Everybody at some point in their life has been used by somebody. It's not really saying nothing. Oh, let me get this 13th Amendment thing off here. I don't know how long that's been on there. Whew. If anybody wants to donate to the GTV channel, there you go right there. That's a cash app. I'm gonna leave that there for a little bit. Oh man. Let me see something here. We all know you did a lot for the kids, G-Man. Personally, I think Jason and Shanny should be getting more heat than G-Man since they're actual abusers. Yeah, because I never put my hands on William and Zachary. And consider this too. William actually came to me in confidence and talked to me about coming out as LGBTQ. He came to me about that, and they all know how I feel about this topic. And actually I was very loving, and I was understanding, and I wasn't judgmental. I wasn't any of those things when I talked to him. That's why when I hear certain people say things on here, it's like, and out the other one, because I know it's baloney. You're talking about a child going through things and being what I would say a little confused or feels a certain kind of way about when he's around other people like himself. You know what I mean? So I can't go to him and talk to people and talk to him all aggressive. No, it's a case by case by case. If a person is being humble about it and they're being and they're trusting you and they're talking about this stuff, naturally you want to come back as being loving and caring when you're talking to them about these things. You don't want to come across to them being a jerk or a bully or something like that. And I would never do that to a child. OMG, what happened again for this tonight, G-Man? Nothing. I just did here's the thing. I think the Geek Room and some of his fans is in my chat. So what happened is they asked certain questions, and I committed to myself. I made a promise to myself that when I saw a question on here, I was going to answer it. So they started asking me questions about the neglect and all that and whatnot. And I don't know how many times I got to answer the same question. If they want to believe that I was part of it, I'm just going to say, you know what? Believe what you want. Take me to court. I ain't going to jail. If anything, they're going to give me a pat on the back. So, G-Man, are you okay with two lesbians? I'm a Christian. That's my answer for that. Let me see something here. G-Man knew he saw all the same vids. No, I didn't. You got to remember. As a matter of fact, I'll elaborate on this a little bit. I did not see all the same vids. You want to know why I didn't see all the same vids? Because at that particular time, the people that was going after Shanny and Rev, I wasn't watching their channels like that. I was trying to ignore a lot of them. And there was one in particular I had a contract video against, in which I was seriously thinking about suing the ever living daylights out of him. Me and a few YouTubers was going to go after him. It was a big thing that I had planned. He's lucky I decided to forgive. I had so much dirt on that guy, it's not even funny. I can't even begin with all the stuff I know about him now. Okay. Don't use Christianity to dodge it. I got to talk about my beliefs. You don't want me to get my Bible and start reading, because all I got to do is read it. That's all I got to do. I ain't got to offer my opinion one time. I can read Romans chapter 1, and that's your answer. I can read Romans chapter 1, and that is my answer. Let me see. Does anybody have any other questions for me? This is the rebranding on this YouTube channel of we're getting away from sowing and reaping, and we're going to start doing the new brand name, and that is GTV. I'm even going to end my shows differently, and you'll see. I ain't going to do the old way I used to end things, because the way I used to do it back then, it made a lot of people mad. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to end it a little bit like the old way, a little bit. Draven knows me from the GTV days, so he would know how I did things on GTV back in the day. Draven's good peoples, you know. Does anybody have any other questions for me? Again, you guys are going to be able to see some videos that the archive channels don't have, that I have. I either have them on private on my other channel, or I have them unlisted on my other channel, and I have quite a few. All right, the archive channels don't have all the videos. As a matter of fact, there's a real popular one that only Miss Parker had. I think Miss Parker or BGTV has this video, and that's the one where they, at the end of the road trip, you'll notice on XX Archive, there's 3 to 4 videos of the road trip. There's Shady picking up the car and everything and whatnot, and them arriving at the uncle's. Well, before they get to the uncle's, they actually go to the house that I owned at the time, and I wasn't there. That video I saw. And that is so rare, it's hard for a lot of people to find. I don't even have it. Either BGTV has it in his archive and got it hidden somewhere, or Miss Parker has it. It's a very valuable video. A very, very valuable video. Boy. So let me ask you something, Luna. Yuna, you said, G-Man, you're pretty much a bigot. You answered my questions also. I don't believe in God. I believe in Buddha. Okay, so I guess I would ask you this question. Do you believe that God, the God of the Bible, is a bigot? Yes or no? Yuna, do you believe that the God of the Bible is a bigot? Yes or no? Do you believe that the God of the Bible is a bigot? Yes or no? And are you a lesbian? Answer my question now. Answer yours and answer mine. I'd like to hear what you got to say. Okay. So the reason why I have my opinion about whether or not 2 lesbians can adopt a child is based on scripture. It's based on the Bible. If you actually go read Romans chapter 1, your answer will be written right there. You believe in the teachings of Buddha. Well, we can talk about that one day. But okay, so you believe in Buddha. I believe in Christ. Does anybody have any other questions? If not, I'm going to wrap this up. Do you still believe starving children don't exist? My argument is not that starving children don't exist. I don't believe that Christian starving children don't exist unless they're being tortured or they're fasting. But of course, people out there that don't like me just make it short like that. That's cherry picking. It is a straw man, and that is not what I believe. So that's what you believe, not me. So nobody else got any more questions? Then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the rebranding of Sowing and Reaping, which is now going to be known as GTV 123. And I'll see you guys in the next one, when we will come back and we will look at some rare videos against my saga with Shanny that none of the archive channels has. But I'm going to make sure Draven gets one, just one, for his channel on GTV. On GTV 123. What? Oh my God, it's terrible.